David, Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo have parted ways with immediate effect. Can you tell us what's happened?
Yes, Manchester United have terminated the contract of Cristiano Ronaldo immediately. They have reached a mutual agreement. That's how it's being described to me by multiple sources close to the situation, which means we presume that he will not be paid out the remainder of his salary, which he was owed until the summer of 2023. And Manchester United had an option to extend that deal by a further 12 months because the mutual termination suggests that they have come together and reached a compromise on this. It means that Cristiano Ronaldo will not be going back to Manchester United after the World Cup. Now, we know Laurie Whitwell on The Athletic reported that United had started work on a potential termination. My understanding is that that work stepped up quite rapidly in recent days, to the extent that earlier today I was hearing that an agreement was close. Well, that agreement has now been struck. There was a desire, I think, on Ronaldo's part, from what I was hearing from sources, to get this matter done and dusted before Portugal's opening game at the World Cup, which is against Ghana on Thursday night. Well, they've done that by a couple of days, and now it's case closed on one of the most extraordinary chapters in world football.
And David, why has this happened?
To put it bluntly, this has happened because Cristiano Ronaldo gave an interview to Piers Morgan in which he was heavily critical of individuals currently and previously at Manchester United, namely Erik ten Hag, the manager, and Ralf Rangnick, the interim manager who preceded him. Erik ten Hag, being the manager now, meant that criticism rendered Ronaldo's position untenable. There was no realistic prospect of him setting foot in the Carrington training ground again, let alone Old Trafford. Many you speak to say that his interview was designed to ensure he was either sacked by the club or an agreement was reached to terminate his contract. He did not want to be there anymore. His criticism of the club, some of its structures and processes, its people, its owners who pay his salary, was pretty brutal. And that meant the relationship could not go on. The background to that is that it has not been a happy return for Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United since he rejoined the summer before last. To great fanfare, the homecoming of a king following his previous glittering spell at Manchester United. He joined from Juventus, and Manchester City had shown some interest, and that, I think, made Manchester United move as quickly and as strongly as they did. He scored more than 20 goals to be their top scorer in his first season back at the club, but there were lingering problems. They were simmering. When Erik ten Hag came in as permanent manager, he spoke with Cristiano Ronaldo in the spring of this year. It seemed that they were going to move forward together. But when Cristiano Ronaldo went away for his summer holiday, something changed. He didn't report back for pre-season training on time because of personal family reasons. And when he did return, it had already been made clear to a number of us and to Manchester United by Cristiano Ronaldo and or his representatives that he wanted to leave. He wanted to finish his career and play out his final chapter at a Champions League club and continue to embellish his record of trophies and accolades. That couldn't happen at Manchester United in the Europa League, and that set the tone for what has ultimately culminated today. He's played a bit part role. He hasn't been happy. He left Old Trafford at half-time of a pre-season friendly against Rayo Vallecano, and he left the stadium. He left the field early in Manchester United's win against Tottenham when he refused to come on as a substitute. He was, we think, fined for that. He was left out of Manchester United's next squad against Chelsea. He trained on his own for a week. He did return to the fold. He did play a part in the Europa League in particular this season. He did captain United on one occasion, more as a substitute in the Premier League. But following that interview with Piers Morgan, this situation had to come to a head, and the case is now closed.
And David, just quickly, is this a good outcome for everybody involved?
Ultimately, it is. I think it will be regrettable for everybody involved. Ronaldo would not have wanted to come back to Manchester United and not be successful. The same for Manchester United, who paid a transfer fee to Juventus and made Ronaldo their highest paid player, the highest paid player in the Premier League. But given the circumstances I've explained, the fact that this is now done and dusted, the fact that he is now gone will suit him, and it will suit Manchester United. It will suit Erik ten Hag. And they can all move on in their different directions and try to bring a happier state of affairs to themselves than they've had in recent times.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is where the Ralph Rangnick to Manchester United story broke, where a team of journalists have provided unrivaled coverage of Newcastle United's new ownership, and where dedicated writers cover every Premier League team, no matter their place in the table. And you can try it free now for 30 days.